Hello everybody, welcome to A British Audiophile. If you're new to this channel, my name is Taryn. Today I'm going to reflect back on the products that I reviewed this year, and I'm going to select winners in three categories: the best DAC, the best amplifier, and the best pair of speakers. I'm going to keep things as simple as possible. All they need to do to qualify is be a product that I reviewed on the channel this year. I know some publications and channels do their Product of the Year awards slightly differently, but this isn't a massive organisation with 10 reviewers reviewing hundreds of products across the year. I'm not going to exclude something just because it's been out for a year or two. So just to be clear, the award winners will be my selection for the best product that I've come across on this channel this year. Let's start with the DAC category first. The SMSL VMV D1 SE retails for around £700, although I've regularly seen it on sale for around £570. It's a resolving and neutral DAC, but with a relatively flat soundstage, typical of a lot of chip-based DACs around this price. The RME ADI2 FS is £979. It has a fuller tonal balance with more harmonic richness, imparting a more natural sonic character, but it also has that flat soundstage and some vagueness in the stereo imaging as well. People are bound to ask me about the Denafrips Aries 2 that retails here in the UK for £800. That's excluded from this year's honours because it was reviewed in 2020. It's a shame I didn't have it here at the same time as the RME and the SMSL, but my impression of the Aries 2 is that it's a DAC within its market segment that has it all. Great clarity, very natural tonality, and very good sound staging and imaging ability left to right and front and back. What you get from its big brother, the Denafrips Pontus 2 at £1,900, is a greater sense of detail and space between the instruments and where the recording actually took place. It has battleship build quality, but like the Aries 2, it lacks a remote and volume control that may be an issue for some users. The Denafrips Pontus 2 is as good a DAC as I've heard since starting this channel. So what could possibly supplant that and take the top spot? The Hollow Audio Spring 3 Level 2 retails for €2,649, direct from European distributor Magna Hifi. It's my choice for the best DAC of 2021. It's as equally impressively built as the Pontus 2, and even though it's a little cleaner sounding, I wouldn't say it sounds better. The Pontus 2 has more harmonic richness, so a decision between the two comes down to personal taste. It's the greater flexibility that the Hollow Audio DAC has that gives it the nod. The Spring 3 Level 2 version comes with a remote control, but the real value kicks in for digital-only users if you specify the excellent optional, fully balanced analog preamp module for an additional €600. It's heavily based on Hollow Audio's Serene preamp that retails in its own right for €2,849. I've reviewed a lot of amplifiers this year, and the ones that I'm just about to talk about, although I don't consider them necessarily to be the best of the best, they might be the right amplifier for you. They may have shortcomings in a couple of areas that just aren't a priority as far as you're concerned, and it might be just because of those characteristics that they shift the overall sonic balance of your system in a direction that you're more happy with. The Sugden A21 Signature at £2,195 is built to last generations and has a warm, lush presentation worthy of the best Class A amplifiers. The detailed, dynamic and slightly forward-sounding Attel Iron 200 Signature that I reviewed had the optional, very good ESS-based DAC, which brought the price up to £1,895, offering a great deal of value for money. There's also the option for a moving magnet phono stage for turntable users. If you're after a compact streaming amplifier with a cool analytical presentation, the Cyrus One Cast at £1,299 may be just a ticket, although I've currently seen it on sale at a number of retailers for the bargain price of £999. The Hagel H190 at £3,300 may not compete with the best separates for the same money, but it's going to take some doing to get a one-box solution to sound better. If you want that open mid-range holographic soundstage and have speakers suited to a low wattage tube amp, the Rysong Boyu Range A50 Mark III is a single-ended triode, zero negative feedback Class A dream, available currently through China Hi-Fi for $649 plus shipping and taxes. The Burson Timekeeper 3i at £2,499 could be considered by some to be a little bit pricey for what is mainly suited to a desktop solution, even though it's a DAC, preamp, headphone amp and stereo amp. But just take a look at how this thing is built. I have no doubt you get what you pay for. For a more cost-effective desktop solution, the SMSL VMV A1 at around £600 gives you that warm, cozy Class A experience, despite being a high bias Class AB design. The Hagel H95 at £1,600 isn't far off being a real contender for the best amplifier of 2021. It struggles a little bit with more challenging speaker loads, but has a detailed and tonally natural presentation. The NAD M10 at £2,199 didn't have that problem thanks to its Hypex Encore Class D power. It offers superb functionality with its integrated BlueOS streamer and direct light room correction system. It lacks a little bit of body in the mid-range, but has a very clean and dynamic sonic presentation. It's been recently updated to a version 2. The Yamaha AS1200 at £1,999 could also have been a contender for the best amplifier of 2021. It's impossible not to be seduced by the retro VU meters. The attention to detail and build on this amplifier is second to none. It doesn't quite make it due to its lightness in the bass and forwardness in the mid-range, but it's a very resolving and accomplished amplifier. The Atol Iron 80 Signature that will currently cost you £1,149 with the excellent optional ESS DAC fitted is another very fine sounding amplifier that's frustratingly close to being top of the tree. Like the Yamaha, it just has a bit too much sonic coloration to be considered, but will win many fans with its big, warm, dynamic and resolving presentation. There are two amplifiers that I could easily make the case for being the best amplifier of 2021. No amplifier is perfect, but they seem to do it all within their market segment. Excellent resolution, a great sense of scale and dynamics, and a neutral, but more importantly natural way of presenting the music, which means that they'll partner well with a wide variety of speakers. The Wilsington R8 is currently available from China Hi-Fi for $893 plus shipping and taxes. That probably equates to just over £1,000 delivered to your door in the UK. It's not just a great sounding tube amplifier, it's the best amplifier that I've heard for circa £1,000. You can switch between triode mode, actually it's a pseudo triode mode, for a warm cozy sound that some people strive for with tube gear. However, in ultra linear mode you have more power, which improves clarity and dynamics. As good as the Wilsington R8 is, it's not my choice for the best amplifier of 2021. There's another amplifier that builds on the strengths of the R8 but dials up the clarity and refinement to another level. If you can spend the extra, I'd be amazed if you can do better for the price. The Exposure 2510 at £1,599 is essentially a power amplifier with a passive preamplifier stage deploying an Alps Blue Velvet volume control and a moving magnet phono stage. The 2510 has the natural tonality of the Hagel H95 but with greater dynamics and control. This is resolving as a Yamaha AS1200 but more even in its response, so will pair with a wider range of speakers. It's not the last word in authority, both the Yamaha and the Wilsington have it there, but the R8 sounds clumsy and heavy-handed in comparison to the 2510, such is its refinement and ability to reveal nuance. The Exposure 2510 is the best amplifier of 2021. It's fair to say that I got through a fair amount of speaker reviews this year as well. Speakers have the biggest influence on the overall sound of your system, more than the electronics, perhaps a little less than the room itself. Let's talk about the speakers that may not have been the last word in clarity, but have plenty of strengths in other areas. The Acoustic Energy A300s that currently retail for £629 are beautifully finished, and there's even an option for a real walnut veneer at that price. It will appeal to those not chasing the last word in fidelity, but looking for that traditional smooth British monitor sound. The Lipson Heritage XLS 15s are a lot of speaker for £1,995. They have the kind of dynamics that you'd expect from a speaker of this size. They actually offer very good all-round performance for a wide front baffle design, but they can't be expected to have the clarity and ability to acoustically disappear like the best compact monitors. The Triangle Elara LN01A is a powered speaker with a built-in DAC that was £599 when I reviewed it back in March 2021. It's currently been reduced to £449 in the UK, which is a bargain. You try to put together a whole system of this quality for that price. I think you'll struggle. The Fine Audio F700s at £2,799 are hands down the finest looking speakers I've ever had in my house. No pun intended. They may not compete with my reference Product Response 1 SEs in resolving ability, however they have a fullness and warmth in the lower registers, combined with a bit of liveliness on top, thanks to that coaxially mounted horn-loaded tweeter. I suspect they'll win over many listeners. Oh, I really wish those speakers sounded better than my Proax. Even the missus didn't want to see them go. I don't blame her really. The ELAC Solano FS287 is a slim, elegant floor standard available for £2,699. It may not win any prizes for pulling out details from your recording, but it's going to appeal to those looking for a speaker to double up on 2-channel as well as home cinema duties, thanks to its boosted bass response. It's a similar story with the Acoustic Energy AE509s that you can currently purchase for £2,399. Not the last word when it comes to hearing everything, but a more balanced overall speaker than the ELAC Solano FS287 with excellent bass, full mid-range and a rolled off top end. The Q Acoustic Concept 300s at £2,499 is a speaker that grabs your attention, especially with the optional tensegrity stand. It's not far behind the class leaders when it comes to peeling back the layers of a recording. It has a high frequency adjustment and a naturally rolled off top end that will be suitable in a minimalist acoustically lively setting. Okay, so those were speakers that weren't quite there in their ability to resolve information. There are other speakers that were class leading in terms of clarity, but just fell short in a couple of other key areas to be considered for the best speaker of 2021. The Bucar A500s that can be purchased directly for €3,750 with the Platin remote hub is an active, truly wireless speaker system with room correction. The A500 offers amazing flexibility to alter the sound to your environment by virtue of its interchangeable DSP master tunings. It isn't the last word in refinement and natural tonality, but it's an immensely dynamic system. If you want something to put on your desk or listen in the near field, the Sound Artist replica of the iconic LS35A may be just what you need. It has that gloriously open mid-range that the BBC legend is renowned for, and a surprising amount of punch for a little speaker, available from China Hi-Fi for $599 with free shipping at this time. The other Sound Artist speaker that I reviewed is also thoroughly revealing in the mid-range. The SC8B can be purchased from the China Hi-Fi website for $649 currently. It has a horn coloration that sounds glorious with simple acoustic recordings, but loses composure when things get a little bit more complex. The high sensitivity and benign impedance make the SC8B a good starting point with low-powered tube amps. The JBL L52 Classics that retail for £999 is no shrinking violet either, a dynamic little speaker with good levels of clarity. It's not the last word in terms of precision or refinement. The bass is a little boosted and the mid-range has a little bit of thickness in its lower registers as well as a bit of forwardness further up. Enthusiasts hankering for that classic JBL sound won't be disappointed though. The Amphion Argon 3S's hail from Finland, yours for £1,999 at the time of this video. Amphion's studio heritage shows with this speaker that's uber revealing but a little bit cool and analytical in its overall sonic presentation. Still a fine choice if that's the character that you're looking for. The Ophidian Mambo 2 is from a small, little-known British manufacturer. It's remarkable that for £2,000 you get a beautiful compact floor stander with a cabinet constructed by Timberworks of Sheffield. They also build cabinets for Proac and Spendor. The Mambo 2 has premium parts from Mundorf in the crossover as well. A highly resolving speaker with a natural tonality but with limited dynamics and sense of scale. I could easily make a case for this next speaker being my best speaker of 2021. It comfortably produced the best sound that I've ever heard in my listening environment. The ATC SCM19 actives may cost you £4,600, but that's with 182 watts of Class AB power in each speaker, unrestrained, thanks to a fully analog active crossover. The levels of clarity and natural tonality are breathtaking, and surely close to reference quality. If you think you can put together a passive system of similar quality for the same money, I'm sorry to say, I think you're mistaken. That's not my best speaker for 2021. What could possibly top that? Well, it's easier to achieve sonic nirvana when you've got the best part of £5,000 to throw at the problem. What if you've got only a little bit more than £1,000? The best speaker of 2021 is the Amphion Argon 1. The price may have crept up to £1,200 this year, but this is a remarkably capable speaker. Superbly detailed, wonderfully dynamic, it just gets pretty much everything right. If I was nitpicking, it has a bit of leanness in the mid-range, but less prominent than the Amphion Argon 3S. The big brother is the more revealing speaker, but tonally less well balanced than the Amphion Argon 1. I was fortunate enough to have it here on long-term loan and use it as my reference in many speaker reviews. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed my roundup of 2021 and my selection for the best DAC, amp and speaker. My question for the day is, what's your best product for 2021? Please let me know in the comments section. And I'd just like to finish this year by saying a massive thank you to all of you, especially those of you who regularly watch my videos and are subscribed to this channel. You're the reason I can carry on doing this. And for those of you who support me on Patreon, I don't know how to express my gratitude, but I thank you anyway. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you don't, Happy Holidays, and I'll see you in 2022. A British Audiophile, signing off.